Was the first Nendoroid a Miku figure? It actually, I think it might have been a Miku figure. Okay, what is this?
This is Shinsei, the social MMO released in 2009 and lasted for 7 months. One of its
Holy! No, I haven't watched that Red Joker video yet.
big selling points is that your avatar could be either a normal-sized avatar or what they called a Nendoroid-sized avatar. So what exactly is this game? This was purely a social game. It was not.
Give me 1 second. We need something to set the atmosphere. Nendoroid. Yeah. Nendoroid. Pulls out Nendo. I have a number of Nendos that I could bring. We have the it's gonna focus, you can see it. We have the Yoru Nendoroid. Take it out of the box. I don't want to. I have other ones out of the box, but I haven't taken that one out of the box.
Not a RPG or anything of the sort. It was mostly described as a metaverse, a virtual world.
Shut up. Shut up. They were not using the term metaverse back then.
Developed by Hobbystock, an online website that handles anime goods. They got the permission of Goods Mayo Company to
look at this.
online
This is
website that handles anime
this
goods.
this is an archive. Holy shit. So we have a Momo figure from 2013.
The permission of Goods Mayo.
We have early Love Live Nendos. Oh, wait, that's Little Witch over there. Oh, Blackrock Shooter. Oh wow, this is a wild archive.
Company to create and market characters in-game as Nendoroids. And this game was taglined as the combination of an avatar game with a creation market. Now, what does this tagline mean? The Nendoroids were
Man, this is a fucking This is a That's this is a how do we say time capsule of early 2000s. This is what's her face from Lucky Star. That's the fucking the red Vocaloid that I'm blanking on the name. Tito? Is that it? That sounds right.
a point of attraction for possible players, but it wasn't the main selling point. There were 3 main selling points, and the first one is that you had extreme freedom with your avatar. Not from simple item customization, but from the fact you yourself could create items, upload your own character.
Oh, that's not gonna end badly. Ah, yes. Let the players import 3D models.
Models and textures. But if you didn't know how to do that, the second selling point was the creation of a 3D market for digital assets where you could obtain those character models and items created by other players. And the last selling point is that within this market, you could not only obtain avatars and parts for it, you could also obtain user-created games. The idea behind Shinsei was that it wanted to be a massive multiplayer online social game / platform that thrived from user-generated content. I have seen it being compared to Second Life, and I'm guessing for a more modern example, you could refer to VR chat.
Yeah.
The game client.
VR chat obviously VR chat has a number of problems with that, and we can talk about the the content that comes out of VR chat.
3 different main options to choose from. The first one was to get into Shinsei and hop around the world, meet people and have fun in general. The second one was the Avatar 2. Despite the huge freedom of customization in Shinsei, ultimately the Avatar 2 was more of a dress-up 2 with a 3D viewport. You couldn't modify models or textures in it, but it did have the ability to import them so you could use it in-game. But that also meant that to create these avatars, you would need a third-party software. Developers knew you could use Maya, 3ds Max, and XSI Mod 2, but they were also looking for other options such as Blender, and even to modify textures.
Oh, I do love me Brenda. Brenda's a great tool. Oh my god. Let him laugh at the Brenda. Jesus Christ.
You need something like GIMP or Photoshop. But if you knew how to use these things, you could quite literally make your avatar anything based on the 5-headed or Nendoroid models. You could create something more basic, a fox girl, a schoolgirl, nurse, bunny suit, you know how it is. Hell yeah. But you can also be a stick figure, you can be a cow emoji, you can be an eyeball, you can be a seahorse. You're tired of your human body? Sure. You're tired of a body? Sure. You're tired of being? Sure. You're a railway gun. You're a space battleship. Be reborn as a vending machine. You want to make your character hold something?
Speaking about vending machine, Reborn as a vending machine's getting season 2.
Yeah, someone might have created it. Have it hold a scythe. Had it hold a leek. Swords, tuna. Have it take a look at a telescope. Aw, look how happy they are fishing in that indoor pond. No, it's not a pond. It's actually just another avatar. It doesn't have to be confined into your avatar body.
This only works if you're in Japan. This only works in a country where people have some level of respect for each other. Cause holy shit, this ends very badly with this much power. Again, Roblox has a number of questionable material. VR chat has just as much as well.
Have this whole area to play with. Now it looks like you're locked in a prison. It looks like you're enjoying the pool. Looks like you're driving a battleship. Have your character be a stall owner. You want to ride something? 失敗して落ち込んだ元気出せ気にしない You could also ride a car. Remember, you can mess around with textures. You have an Itasha now. People were just getting creative on which part to use for what.
Hold up. Again, this is another fucking time capsule. Hey, look at that. Takumi.
Have an Itasha now. People were just getting creative on which.
We have some Kino here. We have some Toho. Is that more Toho there?
Part.
Oh, more Toho. You have our Reimu.
To use for what? The cars were set on legs. They could be considered the equivalent of pants. Be fried shrimp. Be sick. Be dead. Be dead. You could be anything within the 5-head or Nendoroid model schemes. Hell, you could be both. 5-headed tall.
I know people still do Tashas today. What the fuck is this thing? There is a number of big VTubers who've had, the people who made Tashas for them.
Mecha model with her Nendoroid of choice added to it. I recognize her. That's Queen Lavinia from Alice Parade. Honestly, this looks very good. People seem to be really into this amount of freedom. It's probably what they wanted to happen.
Okay, this is still... I feel like this video is gonna go for a dark turn.
You could even mess with emotes. For example, if you have a character holding a bowl of food and chopsticks while doing a crying emote set to a happy face texture, it just looks like it's enjoying a meal. And it was all happening
that's cool.
their in-game
Again, hacks.
market.
We love hacks.
This was all user created and people had to use the in-game shop to obtain these things. Just to make one thing clear, the game didn't download those models and texture informations by default. Whenever you saw someone with a model or texture you haven't seen previously.
Okay, that's probably for the best. This is actually a reasonable way to do moderation.
you had to right-click on them and then download that information, otherwise it would be a black model with a question mark head. And that was the Avatar 2. The last option in the game client was the Game 2. Just like the Avatar 2, it was a tool for testing and uploading purposes.
Is it a Mac? Wait, hold up.
Game 2, just like...
Is that a... That's, I think it's an icon ripped from macOS. Yeah, that's the Mac... Yeah, the macOS hard drive thing. That the arrow there is green, though, isn't it? So is the network one? Yeah, the icon's great. I do think they changed the icon color, though. I'm pretty sure the macOS hard drive one is not blue. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. That's so fucking stupid. Well, I don't know. Why would you rip it when you've made custom icons for everything else?
Like the Avatar 2, it was a tool for testing and uploading purposes.
Okay, well, theoretically made everything else. They might have been ripped from something else as well. Oh, macOS is orange. Okay.
You couldn't make a game in it. You
Oh, for the drive in the left-hand one? Yeah.
also needed third-party software, but this time you only had one option. Shinsei had the capability to run games developed in the Kitty Kitty 2 engine. The thing about Kitty Kitty is that it's mostly known for being used in the development of visual novels. Fate Stay Night and Tsukihime, for example. But it seems there were two types of scripts that could be used, KAG and TJS2. They claimed doing novel games with KAG was more approachable for beginners, and for other things, the TJS2 script was used and was more appropriate for experienced people. But honestly, I have no idea what any of these means. To actually play those games, you did it inside the Shinsei Road. Single player and multiplayer that was done through peer-to-peer connections. If you played alone, you would either become a message that said currently playing, or you would have a mark on top of your head. If you were in a multiplayer game lobby and looking for people, you would become a big-ass monolith and people could...
Looking for group, just giant model in the world.
Could join that monolith, or you could invite other people.
Is that a fighting game made in ASCII art? Yes, that's exactly what that looked like.
As well. Now, of course, you saw the title of the video. Shinsei didn't work. But why? They didn't seem to have got the games they wanted. 1. Making games takes much more time than modeling an avatar. 2. Only being able to use Kitty Kitty seemed to be very limiting to the creators. 3.
I think the big thing that probably hurt it is the... I'm going to assume there's a lack of documentation, because Roblox, you know, you use the Roblox creation tool, but everything's written in Lua. It's very, like, Lua is a very easy language. There's a lot of documentation for it. There's a lot of examples for it. Especially back in 2007, I can't imagine there were that many examples on how to work on a Japan-only game engine. So it's Japan-only material. For a language that I think is proprietary to the engine. So it's like, you've got the worst of all worlds.
Didn't seem to be real big incentives to create games specifically for Shinsei. If you had the ability to make games for Shinsei, you could be making games for any other platform instead. 4. Even if games were made, they were either rudimentary or anything you could play anywhere else. They seemed to both had hoped that people would upload their already completed games in Shinsei, as well as join together to make new games. It doesn't
Give us your games!
That either happened. They also did a game contest with 1 million yen in prizes, and that was a good incentive. They didn't get enough entries, and they might have been pressed for time because the deadline was a month after the announcement. Not very surprising there weren't enough entries. 3 months after the official opening, they were already having problems with player count. 5 months in, it didn't felt like anybody was bothering to log in anymore. If there's nobody to play the games, there is no reason to make them, and so the game creation side of Shinsei just died.
Yeah, it's a death spiral. This is the problem that a game like Roblox could have had. Roblox is entirely based on user-generated content. If it ever gets to a point where there's not users, then there's no content. If there's no content, there's no users. It's very difficult to build a game based around user-generated content when you don't already have users.
The world itself seems to have care put into it, but with nothing much to do besides seeing how it looks like, and it apparently being, according to a post I saw, in terms of RPG, it's like not being able to leave the first area.
Right.
It just lost.
Especially 2009. By 2009, well, look, if you want to play a, if you want to basically play a chat room, like FF11 was out for 7 years at that point. Planet Side Online, when did PSO1 game? PSO1 came out in 2000, like, or that's the single player game. When? Oh no, that was the MMO. Yeah, like that had been out for. We back? Japan tried to shut me down. They didn't want me to slander the Nendoroids. We good now? Everything's good?
People. If I list every NPC I saw during this research besides the shops and tutorial,
We're back now? We all good? Everything's working? Yes? No?
it's like not being able to leave the first area. It just lost the interest of people.
The disconnection only start after you talk to your housemate. We already had like one disconnection. Like the last disconnection we had was at the start of the stream. We haven't had one in like 3 hours.
If I list every NPC I saw during
say hi, the
this
stream
research
crashes.
besides the
Nothing
shops
new.
and tutorial, there are the random dancing NPCs,
You
the
killed my
apologizing
stream.
boy and the girl who doesn't forgive, the NPC that's just called Frog, a boy in the forest, and a construction worker on a broken bridge that's dressed as the default boy avatar. There were also a few events, like a festival, a quiz tournament, and Itasha races. Yeah, I think that's all I saw. In 7 months, that was it. From everything they presented as an idea, the only one that thrived, and it did really well, was the avatar customization side. And here lies the problem with that side. The big majority of items were free. The creator had the freedom to choose if an item could be modified and if it was paid, and most of them chose them to be free. Nendoroid Miku was by far the most popular avatar,
Sure.
and Nendoroid Miku was 100% free. Matter of fact, I saw a blog that said that although the writer didn't look into it too deep, they claimed that there weren't even 10 people who made paid content. That's not good at all. Kinda hard to believe the number, but it does tell me that very little people did paid content.
We see some more Lucky Star.
To believe the number, but it does tell me that very little people did paid content. To put into perspective, 4Gamer, a blog revolving around MMORPGs, claimed that on the very first beta test that lasted 2 days, there were over 1,600 uploads. I don't know how many of those uploads were shareable, but I know all the shareable ones were free because the beta test only allowed this option. Wait.
See the glasses there? Man, this is a fucking time capsule. Holy.
Shareable ones were free because the beta test only allowed this option. If, on the official opening of the game, management decided to suddenly slap a price on those items, that would have been a little bit shady. And here lies the other problem with the Avatar 2. The Avatar 2 is really fun. For the people making the avatars. For the general public that didn't know how to use 3D softwares and even image editing softwares for the textures, it just became another glorified dress-up game with even less stuff to do compared to other options they might have had at the time. So how did they plan to make money exactly? Well, the first one is obviously the sale of user-generated content.
Are you gonna say gotcha? It's truth. It is Japan in the early 2000s. They weren't. Gacha already was a thing. It was already a thing by then.
Shinsei sold their in-game currency called Kero, where 1 yen was 1 kero. And for every sale of paid content, Shinsei would detract 30% of the price of the sale as processing fees. And
30? Whoa, we're taking Steam numbers, okay.
70% would go to the creator. Of course, as you know, the whole market side of the game fell flat into its face, and so nobody was buying or spending kero. Their next monetization plan seemed to be brand collaborations. At one point, Shinsei opened brand stores in-game. Good Smile Company had a shop selling the Nendoroid model of their mascot, Gumako. Gonzo offered a shop for Cho Ani.
Whoa. Whoa. Jesus!
Where you could buy models for Adon and Samson. And Hobstock itself opened their own shop to sell a model of the Figma version of Billy Harrington in collaboration with Nico Nico. So these shops worked for both the sales of digital content and advertisement of real-life products. Another monetization plan seemed to be in-game billboards showcasing in-game and real-life products.
Ads.
Of course, if there's no one there to see the billboards and buy these promotional items, they also don't work. They had campaigns with online payment companies, but considering almost nobody bought Kero, I don't see this being meaningful. They had a collaboration with a 3D printing company as well, where you could create figures from your
3D? Okay, that's actually kind of cool for back then. Because this was what, 2009? Yeah, 2009 collaboration with a 3D printing company. That is real cool.
avatar. I'm not going to lie, this looks dubious.
It's
they
shit.
looked washed and grady. Though it is exciting that it could be a figure of your avatar that you could make it look like anything you want, within the regulations of Shinsei. But this cost 12,980 yen without shipping. That was over $140 at the time. Keep in mind, an actual Nendoroid, Miku's Nendoroid for example, it went for less than a fourth of the price at 3,000 yen including taxes. And you could change poses and faces. This is just a prediction of mine, but I really don't think anyone used the service at all. Yeah, it just looks to me the whole operation bled money. Behind the scenes, developers seemed to be active, updates and bug fixes were definitely being sent out, and there were decent advertising attempts as well. But in-game, it doesn't feel like they were doing much to entertain the players. It feels like they just said, here's a sandbox, make a castle, eat some sand, contract toxoplasmosis.
That is the problem with a lot of these sandbox games. They leave it up too much to the players. They don't really give you any reason to play in the sandbox.
And make sure to invite your friends. I'm guessing the name is pronounced Shinsei as both synthesize and Shinsei, which gives the idea of a new world. I'm sure many of you have heard the term Shinsekai, a new world. But all that happened was the end of it. At the very least, the apologizing boy managed to be forgiven, and so both of them got to see the death of the universe together. At one point, they even added an image too, with the intention of creating and editing comics for in-game distribution. It really feels they wanted to create a sort of otaku metaverse. Well, for every MMO that lived, it stands atop the grave of a dozen others, and Shinsei is just another one of those that failed to keep the attention of the people. Couldn't gather last standing users, couldn't survive, it is what it is. At the very least, people did visit for the closure of the game.
I was not aware of this thing at all. Jesus Christ. Again, going back to what I said, fucking time capture. Oh, there it is. I was surprised I didn't see any Nanoha this entire fucking video. How the fuck am I only just seeing the first Nanoha model?
Say goodbye. Now, is there any lesson to be learned here? Not from me. I found this by pure accident while searching for sketchbook fan art and thought it would be interesting to look into it. But that's the only reason I made this video. That's it. See ya.
Bye. Sure. That was fun. That was really fun. I had no idea this game existed. I'm surprised it didn't end up becoming more of a fucking hellhole. Maybe they actually had GMs that were moderating things.